Welcome to our webinar on how to use virtual reality in VET for teachers and trainers, particularly with SEN students. Module Unit 1.1, Selection of Students. With the introduction of our module, we feel it is best to begin with the appropriate selection of students by the teachers. This is crucial in the delivery of any VR program. This new technology means the students' reactions will vary. There have been many studies on this, and we've taken all our research from a number of academic studies. Background information. It has been recorded in a research study between Michigan University, Queen's University Belfast and the Technological University of Dublin that 80% of trials of people with disabilities have engaged very positively with the technology. There are things to look out for, however, and I have personally experienced this. Practical learning experience. Looking at Edward Glissant's pedagogical studies of archipelagic thinking as part of the master's programme I'm currently on at TU Dublin, we engaged entirely through VR for semester 2 this year. It was a lifeline to us, allowing us all to meet as avatars through a virtual space. In this, we designed and created a full exhibition. My work entailed creating geosensory soundscapes and digital mapping of islanders during a full lockdown on a remote island off the southwest coast of Ireland. It probably sounds very futuristic, and it was. It took us all a bit of time to adjust to it, and being an autistic artist myself, I had plenty of issues to try and navigate it. Experiencing the technology. My colleague, Siobhan, visited my home a few weeks back to experience it for herself, and what she noticed most about it was the 360-degree aspect of the technology. Our brains are fooled into believing what they see. We are not evolved enough to process this kind of reality, and this is where the problem can start. So we decided that we needed to develop a checklist. As things move at a different rate of frame per second in VR than reality, it can upset the vestibular system, causing nausea, headaches, and dizziness. This checklist that we have made is incomplete. It can be added or taken away from. Some people may never get to use the goggles at all if it doesn't suit. And in this case, casting can be a good stepping stone to prepare people when moving into a work or educational environment.
Module Unit 1.2. Empowering teachers to use VR with students according to their learning styles. Edgar Dale's cone is one of the most important theoretical foundations of IT. The cone makes connections between concrete and abstract ideas, which is one of the main principles of teaching and learning. This representation helps teachers to select media on the basis of the experiences aimed at particular students. The cone is a visual representation of the impression that learning activities can be placed in extensive categories based on the amount to which they express the non-abstract references of real-life experiences. Dale's cone of learning provides teaching learning models that allow teachers to understand how to increase the retention rate of their students by involving the learning. The thoughts. There are many styles of learning: auditory, visual. Each person has a mix of different learning styles, and they use different styles for different situations. We need to use a multisensory approach. By combining learning styles, you are activating different parts of the brain, and this will ensure more successful retention. A better connection between the neurons. The neurons are the information messengers in the brain. These neurons make connections and transmit information between different areas of the brain. The wheel of learning. The wheel of learning illustrates the radiating effect of actions. Everything we do in life follows this wheel of learning. All actions will change our perception and feelings. Howard Gardner disparages IQ tests as having limited relevance in real life, and his theories that we all have different kinds of intelligences that make up our individual learning styles. A one-size-fits-all approach is no longer fit for purpose. Many educators have had the experience of not being able to reach some students. Sometimes it's only when they present the information in a completely different way or they provide new options that students can see the expression. The successful integration of ICT into the learning environment will depend on the ability of the teachers to structure learning in new ways to merge this technology. This merging, if it's done appropriately with pedagogy, develops socially cooperative interactions and collaborative learning and group work. In VR, we make use of continued experiences to overcome limitations of space and time, to edit reality. For us to be able to follow on this process, this is a system that we intend to study. We need to overcome difficulties of size and finally to understand easily and effectively. In the module 1.3, Monitoring Evaluation, we're hoping to have a live collaboration document that we can produce that will hone in on the existing SEN experiences of teachers who are best placed to understand their own students. The creation of a variety of lesson plans concentrating on specific areas of SEN known to the teachers will combine their past experience with their present knowledge. In order to continue this process, we are suggesting a collaborative Padlet, which a Padlet is a digital sketchbook. This should be maintained by all teams going forward. This will be a continual repository where auditory, visual, documentary materials can be shared as the technology and process evolves.